Hi, writers. So, you want to write a book and you have no experience. I have good news for you. Over 20 years ago, when I wrote my first book, started writing my first book, I had no experience in writing for publication. I mean, I did go through school, did go to college, I took English classes and I learned how to write English papers. And then I took psychology classes and I learned how to write psychology papers. And so in the beginning, it was not flowery enough, elaborate, elaborate, elaborate. And then it was too flowery, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. And I didn't like any of it. So I had school writing, but no idea how to write a novel, how to write a story, how to put a nonfiction book together. But I just had this desire to write. So I started studying the craft of writing. And I just want to encourage you, as I sit here 20 years later with 15 published books and 10 contracted with my publisher, that you too can start writing a book with absolutely no experience. Now, you need to figure out what you're doing, and that's why I'm here to take all of that experience and all of those things that I've learned and condense them and give them to you in these little snapshots so you too can learn to write a book and get that book that's on your heart, that's been laid on your mind and your heart to write, that just has to get out, and to help you do that. So I want to recommend, first of all, study the craft, which, hey, you're here, you're listening to this video. So obviously you're interested in learning how to write and write with excellence, because that's what we want to do, especially as Christian authors. We want to write with excellence. So study the craft, watch this video, watch other videos, read the blogs and the websites that are out there about how to write well. Get the books. There are still great books about how to write well. There are so many resources. There are writers groups. There are different places that you can go to study the craft. Go to conferences, go to seminars, go to workshops. There's a lot of online options today where you don't have to leave your home or spend thousands of dollars to go to a conference, on an airline ticket and a hotel and the conference and all of that. Now, if you can do that, I highly recommend it. Some of the best experiences I had and lifelong writer friends that I've made were at such conferences and seminars. I got my contract with my editor at a writers conference. So there's so many benefits, but start where you can. Just study the craft, study writing well, listen to experienced writers. I'm so glad you're here because you're already starting step one. Then you want to commit to writing every week. So I have a goal sheet that's free if you want it. Just email me at tracy@thechristianwritingcoach.net and say goal sheet, and I will send that to you. I would be happy to give you that resource. It's a simple sheet that says you can write 3 hours a week, whether it's once and sit down for 3 hours, whether it's 3 times for an hour, or whether it's 6 days for 30 minutes. Almost all of us can squeeze in 3 hours. Come on, we can quit scrolling on the phone. We can quit binge watching that show. We can have that movie wait till another time. We can find 3 hours a week. And so make that commitment, make that promise to yourself, and keep that promise. So as you start writing, start with brainstorming. Maybe you have this story that's just burning in your head and it's been there forever and you just have to get it out and you're ready to go because you've been brainstorming in your head for like 10 years. Well, I still recommend spend some time just getting all your ideas on paper so that you can organize them. And that's for fiction, that's for nonfiction. No matter what you plan on writing, get it down on paper in at least one brainstorming session and then start organizing. So now what happens sometimes when you brainstorm is you have all these ideas and all of them are here, and what do I do? Which rabbit trail do I follow? Pick one idea, just one main story or one main theme, and start to work on that. Then brainstorm chapter topics and titles or your plot. Go to the next level of in-depth of what's the next part of your story or your book. And then sit down and write. Keep that commitment to yourself. Now, if you would love accountability, there are great groups out there. American Christian Fiction Writers is a wonderful group that you can join. It's not very expensive, and then you can get together with your state chapter. Sometimes there are local groups. They have critique groups that you can join via email where you can swap chapters every week. That's how I got started. I highly recommend it. Or you could join something like the Christian Writing Academy. So I have a private group. It is a charge for it, but you get 6 months of 1 hour live sessions. So you come together with me as your coach and other writers, and we talk about our writing, and we flesh all our ideas, and we share manuscripts, and if we have writer's block, we share that. We pray for each other. We encourage each other. We equip each other. And I help keep you accountable as well as your other members in that group. So there's so many options. Oh, the link's below, by the way, if you want to check out more. I can't forget that part. But there's so many different resources to get you started. So what I want you to do is stop delaying, stop procrastinating, keep dreaming, but get to work so you can make your writing dreams come true.